We need a timekeeper. Usually Don tells me what time it is, but he might have been trying to and didn't have my attention. Good morning.
Good morning.
Bless you all. Thank you for being here, coming out in the heat, but it's nice and cool and comfortable in here. And let me just tell you that the heat comes through those windows. It's up here, you can feel it. So just know it's cooler over there. So, welcome. Unity is a global, inclusive spiritual community, part of the New Thought movement, offering practical tools and uplifting resources to help people of all walks of life apply positive spiritual principles in their daily lives. Additionally, as a step toward honoring the truth and achieving healing and reconciliation, we acknowledge the traditional peoples of the land on which we stand. The Chilmawavi, the Southern Paiute, the Mojave, and the Wallapai. Please silence your cell phones if you haven't already done so. Now, let's enjoy. Every step is holy.
Every step is holy. Every breath is every moment precious. Held up to the light. Every heart connected. Each face of God. Grace has shown me. Every step is holy. Every step is holy. Every breath is life. Every moment precious. Held up to the light. Every heart connected. Each the face of God. Grace has shown me. Every step is holy. Holy. Everyone, every breath, every step is holy. Every step is holy. Every breath is life. Every moment precious. Held up to the light. Every heart connected. Each the face of God. Grace has shown me. Every step is holy. Every step is holy.
So announcements. morning, we want you to know that we've got t-shirts. We've got the original t-shirts with the Unity Positive Path for Spiritual Living and the big logo on the back. But you have to order them through the Scratch Pads Tees website. Question, how many of you got the email this week? All right, so I was gonna base that on how many announcements I make, because I put them all in the email. So a lot of you have not heard that. We have our Unitic t-shirts, and for anyone who doesn't know, a Unitic is a person who's crazy about unity, a Unitic. And I always love it when Dwayne leaves on Sundays. As he's walking out the door, he says, "Bye, Unitics." We're all like, "Bye, Unitic." So we have some big decisions coming up about our Unity community. And in order to be part of that decision making, and they're not necessarily bad things or good things, they're just things that when you have a community and you have a building and you have finances to manage, that all these things need to be considered. However, you need to be a member to be able to contribute to that discussion. You can certainly contribute to the discussion, but as far as voting for something. So if you have not committed to membership here, it's something to consider, because we do have some decisions coming up in the next 3 to 6 months. So next month, the second Sunday is membership class. So if you decide or you're considering membership at all, now's the time to take it. And then the following Sunday, we will actually do an induction ceremony during the service, where you will be severely hazed, but you will leave alive, and much better for doing it. That's terrible. So anything else for the announcements? Oh yes, okay. So, and then on the first Sunday in October, we'll actually be doing a town hall. So that will be your first opportunity to really contribute to the discussion about where we are and where we're going. Right, that's enough. Thanks.
Good morning, everybody. I'm announcing my last and final class of the 8-week class that we've been doing. It's going to be today from 1 to 2:30. The suggested donation is $20. Today's going to be a fun day where we celebrate and we honor all of the people who have been on this journey with us. And we are going to share some wonderful time together today. So I'd love to see you there if you can make it. Thank you so much.
Let the light come through. Like a door wide open. Let it all be. All that once was broken. Let the light come through. Like a hearth in winter. a sacred morning, all wholly new. See the world transforming, illuminate the places in the dark, and let your life be like a blazing star. Remember that the light is where you are. It lives in me, it lives in you. So let the light come through. Let the light
Good morning. So we have a daily word today, and we have an affirmation. Let's say it together. I am an expression of unlimited life, substance, and intelligence. Consciousness is what I am thinking and feeling right now. My Christ consciousness is my ability to reason and make decisions through my awareness of my higher nature. This consciousness links my mind and heart with divine spirit, where I live, move, and have my being as my higher self. Unity co-founder Myrtle Fillmore once said, "Affirm your innate and unlimited ability to be quickened and stirred into positive action. With your eye on faith, see yourself, imagine yourself continuously manifesting purity, harmony, and wholeness in every part of your body. I trust that all that I do will be done through my Christ consciousness as my higher awareness today and every day. I embrace the consciousness of my divine identity. I am an expression of unlimited life, substance, and intelligence." So I want to ask you a question this morning. Good to see you all. Who do you think you are? I mean, who do you think you are? I'm here to tell you who you are. You're a powerful, magnificent spiritual being, created in image and likeness of God, higher self, whatever you want to call it. It doesn't matter, whatever her name is to you. People ask me sometimes what my religion is. Well, unity's not a religion. And Jesus Christ was not a Christian. Mohammed was not a Muslim. And Buddha was not a Buddhist. All those things were constructs of human nature. So don't ever let anybody put you down or condemn you or criticize you for being who you are. Who you are is enough, more than enough. I have another question is, who is familiar of the pineal gland? Yeah, pineal gland, the third eye, as it's commonly called. Jesus said the kingdom of God is within you. And you have a seed of life, a sacred seed of life. And that sacred seed is your pineal gland, located in the middle of your brain. So our job here is to become the very best that we can possibly become in a nature of Christ consciousness. You're not a sinner. You were never a sinner. That's power over you. You're an enlightened being on a tremendous path. All we have to do is recognize that our job here is to wake up and remember who we were. We were created. All humans are created in the image and likeness of God. Doesn't mean we're born perfect, but we are created perfect. The born thing is something we all have to work with. But we're going to talk today about, I'm going to do a couple of talks on this subject, but today we're going to see a film. It's going to take up most of our time today, but it's the most important message I could possibly recommend to you is to connect with your higher self. Connect with your higher self. And whatever you want to term that as. We're not a religion. We don't have any dogma. There's no rules to follow. There's no hellfire, damnation, all constructs of men, human people, to make you smaller than you think you are. So without further ado, let's show this.
There will come a time when the hidden eye reopens, when the ones who are asleep will awaken to the kingdom within. That time is now, and if you're hearing these words, it means you're one of them. You see, there's something the church never told you, something they stripped from the Gospels, something they buried beneath centuries of ritual and doctrine. Jesus spoke in codes, not because he wanted to confuse you, but because he was protecting a teaching so powerful, so dangerous to the systems of control, that only those ready to see could understand it. Listen, why did Jesus speak of a single eye that fills the body with light? Why did mystics paint halos around the heads of saints? Why did the church erase the teaching that you, yes, you, are the living temple of God? These aren't metaphors. They're not fairy tales. They're anatomical, mystical, real. And for 2,000 years, they've kept this from you. But something's shifting now. You feel it, don't you? That restlessness, that knowing that there's more, that the religion you were given doesn't match the Christ you love. You didn't find this video by accident. You were called to remember what was stolen, called to awaken what was put to sleep, called to activate the light that's been dormant inside you since birth. This isn't for everyone. Only those with eyes to see will understand. And by the end of this teaching, you'll know exactly what that means. Let's start where Jesus dropped one of his most cryptic codes, Matthew chapter 6, verses 22 to 23. He said this, "The light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. But if thine eye be evil, thy whole body shall be full of darkness." Now, if you read that literally, it makes no sense. Your eye is single. What does that even mean? You have two eyes. Everyone does. So either Jesus was confused about basic anatomy, or he was speaking about something else entirely, something hidden. Hold that thought, because what I'm about to show you will make everything click. You see, throughout history, every mystic, every initiate, every secret society has understood what Jesus was really pointing to. The third eye, the inner eye. The eye that doesn't see the world, but sees the kingdom. Look at sacred art. Hindu deities with a dot on the forehead. Egyptian gods with the eye of Horus right there, between the brows. Buddhist monks meditating with focus at that exact spot. Halos. Golden circles of light painted around the heads of saints and apostles. Why always there? Why always light radiating from the head? Notice your breath for just a moment. Because they knew. They knew what Jesus knew. That there's a door inside you, a gateway, a lamp that when lit, floods your entire being with divine light. It's not symbolic, it's biological, it's mystical. It's both. And it's been inside you this whole time. Now, Jesus wasn't speaking of imagination. He wasn't talking about visualization exercises or positive thinking. He meant a real living light inside of you. And that light has a source. You've heard the story. Jesus walks into the temple in Jerusalem. The priests are furious. They challenge him. And he says something that sounds insane. Destroy this temple, and in 3 days I will raise it up. Matthew chapter 2, verse 19. They thought he was talking about the building. They mocked him. It took 46 years to build this temple, and you'll raise it in 3 days. But John, the mystic gospel writer, adds this line, but he spoke of the temple of his body. Listen, that's not just about Jesus, that's about you. The temple was never a building. It was never stone and gold and curtains. The temple is the body, your body. Think about it. In the Jewish temple, there was a layout, a blueprint, the outer court, the inner court, the Holy of Holies, the altar, the lampstand, the veil. Now, what if I told you that same blueprint is inside you? The Holy of Holies, the most sacred chamber where only the high priest could enter once a year. That's your brain, specifically the center of your brain, where the pineal gland sits, hidden, protected, sacred. The altar, that's your heart, the place of sacrifice, devotion, emotion. The lampstand, the golden menorah that was always burning, that's the light of your single eye. The pineal, the inner lamp that must never go out. And the spine, Jacob's ladder, the bridge between earth and heaven, between your root and your crown, the pathway where energy ascends and descends, just like the angels Jacob saw in his vision. Feel your heartbeat for just a second. You see, the ancients understood something we've forgotten. Heaven and earth don't meet in a church. They meet in you. You are the temple where divinity and humanity come together, where spirit inhabits flesh, where the kingdom becomes real. Now I want you to do something with me. Put your hand on your chest, right over your heart. Feel it beating. And whisper these words even if you don't fully believe them yet. I am the temple. Say it again, softer this time. I am the temple. Good, because if you are the temple, then the lamp of the temple must be lit, and that's where everything changes. So let's talk about the lamp. In the ancient temple, there was a golden lampstand, 7 branches, always burning, never allowed to go out. It represented the light of God dwelling among the people. Now, inside your brain, right at the geometric center, sits a tiny pine cone-shaped gland, the pineal gland. The ancients called it the seat of the soul. Descartes called it the place where the soul and body interact. The Egyptians symbolized it as the eye of Horus. The Hindus call it Ajna, the third eye chakra. And Jesus called it the single eye. Now, modern science will tell you the pineal gland produces melatonin, regulates your sleep, responds to light. But here's what they don't tell you. The pineal gland can literally perceive light. Science even admits it. Your pineal has the same light-sensing cells as your eyes. Why would God place an eye inside your brain? Unless you were meant to see more than this world. Not the light outside, the light within. And it can be reawakened. But it's one of the most mysterious parts of the brain. It calcifies as you age. It dims. But in deep meditation, in prayer, in moments of profound stillness, people report visions, inner light, connection to the infinite. Modern science admits the pineal can see light, but they never tell you why. Why would you need an eye inside your brain? We'll come back to that, but first you need to understand what happened to it, unless you were meant to see more than this world. Mystics throughout history have practiced techniques to activate this gland, to decalcify it, to reignite the inner flame. Halos weren't just painted for decoration. They were painted because initiates saw them. Crowns of light, radiance, the visible sign of an awakened pineal. Now, I want you to pause for just a moment. Close your eyes again if you're in a safe place. Imagine a tiny flame right at the center of your forehead, between your brows, deep inside your skull. See it flicker. Now imagine it growing just a little bit brighter. Not forcing, just inviting. Breathe into it and release. Did you feel warmth, tingling, pressure? That's not your imagination. That's the lamp beginning to respond. Now, if you're still here, if you've made it this far into this teaching, it means something. You see, most people would have clicked away by now, gone back to their distractions, their sleep. But you're still here. That's not random. It means you're part of the hidden remnant, the ones who were always meant to remember. And I want to honor this moment with you, not as a transaction, but as a seal. If something inside you is stirring right now, don't let it pass. Click like on this video, subscribe to this channel, and write these 3 words in the comments. I am waking up. When you do, you're not just interacting with a video, you're sending a signal into the unseen. You're declaring your awakening. You're helping this teaching find the other hidden ones, the remnant, who are searching for the same light you've just found. This isn't for everyone. It's for those with eyes to see. It's for you, and you are part of it. Now, let's go deeper. Because there's a reason the church feared this teaching and tried to erase it from history. Let me ask you something. What would happen if you truly believed that the kingdom of God was already inside you, that you didn't need a priest to access it, that you didn't need a building, a ritual, a middleman, that you, right now, exactly as you are, carry the fullness of divinity within your own body? What would happen to the system? It would collapse. You see, the moment Jesus started teaching this, the moment he said the kingdom of God is within you, in Luke chapter 17, verse 21, he signed his death warrant because the temple in Jerusalem wasn't just a religious site. It was an economic powerhouse. Priests controlled access to God. You had to bring your sacrifice, pay your tax, go through the system. And here comes Jesus saying, you don't need any of that. You are the temple. God is already in you. That's not just heresy, that's revolution. After Jesus died, the early church tried to carry his message forward. The Gnostics, the mystics, the desert fathers, they practiced inner awakening, direct communion, the Christ within. But then, the Roman Empire took over Christianity, and they needed control. So they did what empires always do. They centralized power, created hierarchy, built cathedrals, wrote creeds, and slowly, carefully, they stripped out every teaching that put power back in your hands. The Gospel of Thomas, banned. The Gospel of Mary, suppressed. Any text that spoke of inner knowing, of gnosis, of the divine spark within, labeled heresy, burned, buried, forgotten. They told you that you were born broken, a sinner, unworthy, separated from God by an unbridgeable gap, and only through their institution, their priests, their rituals, their approval, could you maybe, possibly, one day be saved. But that's not what Jesus taught. Jesus taught that you are the light of the world, that you are God's, sons and daughters of the Most High, that the same Spirit that raised him from the dead lives in you. If you've stayed with me this far, it's because part of you has always known this. Let your eyes soften as you listen. You've been called to remember what they tried to make you forget. They didn't hide this teaching because it was false. They hid it because it was true. And if you realized your own divinity, you wouldn't need them anymore. Now I want you to sit with a question, just for 2 seconds. Ask yourself, what would my life look like if I truly believed the kingdom was already within me? Not someday, not in heaven. And here's another question. If the temple is your body, then what was the cross? If the lamp is the pineal, then what is resurrection really about? Hold those questions. We're about to answer them, but the answer isn't what you think. That shift, that realization, that's the beginning of resurrection. Because the pineal wasn't just for vision, it was the doorway to conquering death itself. And if you're one of the few still awake enough to hear this, then keep going. The mystery deepens from here. Here's something strange. Throughout the Gospels, whenever Jesus encounters death, he calls it sleep. When Jairus' daughter dies, he says, "She is not dead, but sleeping." Mark chapter 5, verse 39. When Lazarus dies, Jesus says, "Our friend Lazarus has fallen asleep." John chapter 11, verse 11. The people around him thought he was in denial. They laughed at him. But Jesus knew something they didn't. Death and sleep are closer than we think, and awakening is always possible. You see, every night when you go to sleep, something extraordinary happens. Your pineal gland becomes active. It secretes melatonin. It regulates your circadian rhythm. But more than that, it opens the door between worlds. In sleep, you dream. You leave the physical. You enter other realms. You see things that haven't happened yet. You meet people who aren't there. You experience realities that feel just as real as this one. Notice how your body feels right now. The pineal is the bridge, the gateway between the seen and the unseen, between the material and the spiritual. And in deep mystical states, when the pineal is fully activated, you don't need to be asleep to access those realms. You can see them while awake. That's what visions are. That's what prophecy is. That's what Christ consciousness is. It's the ability to live in 2 worlds at once, to walk on earth while seeing heaven. Jesus didn't just rise from the dead after 3 days in a tomb. He taught his disciples that resurrection is a state of consciousness. Here's where it gets wild. A shift from sleep to awakening, from darkness to light, from death to life. And it's available right now. Paul said it clearly in Ephesians chapter 5, verse 14. "Awake thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and Christ shall give thee light." Awake, arise. Christ gives you light, not someday, now. The resurrection isn't just a historical event, it's an inner event. It's the pineal igniting, the single eye opening, the temple coming alive. Every night when you sleep, you practice death. And every morning when you wake, you practice resurrection. But most people never wake up fully. They go through life in a trance, eyes open but unseeing, alive but asleep. Jesus came to shake you awake, to activate the light, to resurrect you while you're still breathing. Now, tonight, before you sleep, I want you to try something. As you're drifting off, place your awareness at the center of your forehead and whisper to yourself, "I will awaken." Not just from sleep, from everything. And imagine that every morning is a small resurrection, a return from the other side, a remembering of who you really are. Now, if this truth is stirring something in you, if you can feel the light beginning to flicker, leave a comment right now. Type these 3 words, "I will awaken." This is a signal to the universe, to yourself, to the others who are waking up alongside you. When you speak it, you anchor it, you make it real. Because once you understand this, you'll understand why Jesus said you would do even greater works than him. This is one of the most misunderstood verses in all of Scripture. Jesus, right before his crucifixion, says this to his disciples, "Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I do shall he do also, and greater works than these shall he do. John chapter 14, verse 12. Greater works than Jesus. How is that even possible? Take a slow breath. Unless Jesus wasn't trying to be worshipped. He was trying to be replicated. He wasn't saying, look at me, I'm special, I'm the only one. He was saying, look at me and see what you're capable of. You see, Jesus moved humanity through stages. First, he called us servants. Then he called us friends. And finally, he called us equals, co-heirs with Christ, bearers of the same Spirit, carriers of the same light. The church wants you to worship Jesus, but Jesus wanted you to become like him, to awaken your own inner Christ, to activate your own single eye, to realize that the Father is not up in the sky, but within you. The kingdom of God is within you. I and the Father are one. Ye are gods. These aren't just pretty sayings. They're initiations, invitations. Jesus was the first fruits, the prototype, the one who showed the way. But he never said he was the last. He said, follow me, not worship me, follow me into the same awakening, the same light, the same resurrection. You are not less than Jesus. You're just asleep. And the moment you wake up, the moment that pineal gland ignites and the single eye opens, you become what you've always been. The hidden Christ, the living temple, the light of the world. And here's what changes everything. You've come this far. You've stayed through every chapter, every revelation, every secret. That alone tells me something about you. You're not here by accident. You're here because something in you remembers. And now we're going to activate it. This is the moment where everything shifts from knowledge to experience, from theory to living truth. So if you're in a place where you can close your eyes safely, I invite you to do that now. If not, just soften your gaze. Take a deep breath. Let your body settle. Now, bring your awareness to the center of your forehead, not on the surface, deeper, about 2 inches back, right in the center of your brain. That's where the pineal sits, the lamp of the body, the single eye. Imagine a small flame there, a golden, warm flame, flickering gently. Don't force it, just see it in your mind's eye. Now, with each breath, imagine that flame growing a little brighter. Breathing in, the flame grows. Breathing out, the light spreads. Let that light begin to fill your head. Warm, golden, soft. It moves down into your throat, into your chest, into your heart. Now imagine it filling your whole body, from the crown of your head to the soles of your feet, every cell, every bone, every drop of blood filled with light. And now, imagine that light doesn't stop at your skin. It radiates outward, a field of light around you. You are glowing. You are the temple. You are the light of the world. And now, silently or out loud, speak this: I am awake. The single eye is open. The Christ is alive in me. Take one more deep breath. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Welcome back. What you just experienced, that wasn't just visualization. That was activation. You just lit the lamp. And once it's lit, it doesn't go out. It might dim. Life, stress, fear, they can cover it. but the flame is always there now. And the more you return to it, the brighter it becomes. This is the hidden teaching Jesus gave to his inner circle. This is what the mystics practiced in caves and deserts. This is what the church tried to bury, but it's rising again, in you. The second coming isn't a man descending from the clouds. It's the Christ consciousness awakening inside millions of people, just like you. And every time someone activates their single eye, the prophecy moves one step closer. But here's the truth they never told you. The prophecy isn't fulfilled by someone else. It's fulfilled by you. You are the second coming. You are the Christ returning to the world, not as blasphemy, as remembering, now. If you felt something stir during that activation, if something inside you shifted, even slightly, then your single eye is opening. And I want you to seal this moment. Subscribe to this channel, not as a casual click, but as a declaration. You're choosing the path of awakening. You're joining the hidden remnant, the ones who remember. Share this video with someone who's ready, someone who's been searching, someone who loves Jesus but has felt imprisoned by religion. Before you leave this space, if what you've just experienced stirred something in you, there's more waiting. We've hidden keys, prayers, and activations inside what we call the sacred scrolls, writings meant only for those who are truly awakening. And if you're ready to walk with others on this path, if you're ready to find the hidden remnant, we have a private sanctuary for you. It's where seekers like you gather, decode, and remember together. Both are for the ones with eyes to see. The links are below in the description. Step inside. Take your place among the awakened. This teaching isn't for everyone. It's only for those with eyes to see, and you have seen. Remember what I said at the very beginning? There will come a time when the hidden eye reopens. That time is now. That time is you. The prophecy is fulfilled because you have reopened the eye. You are not waiting for the Christ to return. You are the living Christ awakening in the world. The prophecy wasn't about waiting. It was about remembering. And you just remembered. The temple is alive. The lamp is lit. And you are the light that was promised. Walk in that light. Let it guide you. Let it transform you. And know this, you were always meant to find your way here. Welcome home.
Any thoughts? He's curious to see how that connected with you or not. It's okay. It's nothing you have to do or think you have to do. You're perfect where you are. Anyway, what's next on our... Anyway, thank you. Thank you.
I don't wanna give words to this. Anything you have to interpret will only eclipse the hardest
cool. That's very cool. We're always trying to do something a little different. And that was different this morning. Thank you, Barry. Really loved that. What is next? Oh, welcoming our guests. Yeah, so we want to welcome Gary and Devin and David. Did I get it right? All right, cool. Welcome. Friends of Amy's that she invited to come today, and we love having visitors, and we do hope you become friends. So now we have come to our time of sharing back, giving back. We come here on Sunday mornings and we receive something with the music and the message and the meditation. And so it's your opportunity to be in, as we call it, the divine flow of life, to give back, to be in that, as we say, that giving and receiving are one in truth. So as we give, we receive. You may notice that there are little baskets under the chairs. There's also a device on the back table where you can give with a debit card or credit card. And we have a little gift shop there. And Amanda or I can help you out in the gift shop, and you can make a donation through that as well. That is a tip tap only, that device on the table. But in our little gift shop, you can insert the card. We know that some people like to do that. So, and our affirmation for this segment of the service, our giving and receiving affirmation, today I feel deeply blessed and grateful for the goodness that surrounds me. I effortlessly attract opportunities, joy, and love, aligning my energy with a life I dream of living. I trust that the universe is guiding me as I step closer to my highest potential. So it is. I am so glad, I am so glad, I am so glad, I am so glad, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so glad, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed. Amy,
Okay, pop up, hello. And this week's pop-up positivity comes from a really small town and a really small restaurant back east in Michigan, Union, Michigan. And it's one of those only one stoplight towns, and this pizza place, we're busy taking the orders, the only pizza place in town. And the manager received a phone call. And in that phone call, a woman on the other side asked, "What do you do with your food at the end of the night?" And the manager said, "Oh no, we're a pizza place. We make it to order," and basically hung up the phone. And before the woman hung up, she said, "Oh, I was just wondering." Well, the manager hung up the phone and then thought about it and kept thinking about it. And kept thinking about it, and it weighed on her mind, it weighed on her conscience. She asked her staff, "Wow," and they said, "Yeah, what if that person was asking because they were hungry, or we could have given her a job?" So when you don't know what to do, you post it on Facebook. That's what you do in a small town, and she made a post that sounds something like, "To whom it may concern, last week we received a phone call and you asked if we threw away any of our food at the end of the night. And I said I made it to order and hung up, and I was busy. And if that was you, maybe you could call back and we can have a different conversation." That was the offer, to have a different conversation. Well, as posts sometimes do, it went viral. A viral post went, it's on Facebook, went all over the world, way beyond that little town. And the manager said, "I never expected what happened to happen." And she got responses from everywhere, every state, every country. Australia, Aruba, Scotland, England, Nigeria, France, Portugal, Spain, every state responding to her post. People responding to have a different conversation about what you do with food, suggestions about what they've done in their restaurants, inspiring people to not throw food away. So this little pizza place in the small town in Michigan went with the idea she got after that posting of the meal wall. People would donate $10. There'd be a little heart sticker saying where that donation came from, and people in need could then use that sticker to buy themselves a meal at the pizza place. And they just called it the meal wall, not knowing what else to do it. So when you go into this little pizza place now, there in Michigan, the whole wall is full of hearts from all over the world donating so people can have a meal to eat. So if it can happen there, it can happen anywhere.
Hey, y'all, that's worth popping up for. Pop up. Yay, thank you, thank you. Now we're gonna come together for our closing song. If you can find a hand, grab it. I am the light of God, I am the love of God, I am the